Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about my journey. Currently, I am at Blue Origin. I'm senior avionics engineer, and I'm working on the lunar lander, that is Blue Moon lunar lander, which will be going to moon in coming years. And I'm going to share my journey, how I came to Blue Origin, how I started in India, and how it all happened. I gave the presentation a name, a small town girl. I'm actually coming from Ambala, Kent. I studied my high school in Ambala, Kent, and then did my engineering in India. We'll go through that. So let's go to the next slide. That's quick overview of my family, my education, what I do. That's my husband here. That's my parents here. I like dancing, traveling, reading books in my free time. I did bachelor's electrical engineering from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. And then I did my master's electrical engineering from Arvitia Aachen, that's in Germany. And the picture you see, all the wires, all breadboard. So yes, I do this kind of work. I never thought I will be doing this kind of work, but I actually enjoy this work a lot. So I do this work a lot in my lab. That's my journey here. Started from Punjab Engineering College in Chandigarh, 4 years, did my bachelor's there. Then I went to Reliance Infrastructure Limited in Noida. I worked there for 3 years. And then I went to Germany, did my master's electrical engineering. So in Germany, I also worked there for 2 years in automotive industry, Visteon Innovation. And then 2016, I got married, and then I came to US. I worked in a Capella Space. Capella Space is a startup which is building spacecrafts. And then I came to Blue Origin. Blue Origin, I worked on a lot of projects. I worked on rocket engines, B4, B3U, those engines we are going to see later in the slides. And currently I'm working on the lunar lander and taking humans to the moon in coming years. Let's start with the chapter 1 of my journey, Punjab Engineering College. So I joined Punjab Engineering College in 2004. When I came in 2004 at PEC, I was very shy. I was so shy that I was afraid of going to the restroom alone. And I always have to ask to my friend, can you please come with me? So I was coming from a small town, Ambala, Kent, and never had a big exposure, never came to a big city for study, and coming to first time in a college environment, very shy, very afraid of public speaking. I remember in first year, we used to have some college events, and I also went on stage for my speech, and I just froze there. I was just standing there and could not say anything. So I had no confidence in myself. Studies felt so difficult. First year was so difficult. But when I graduated in 2008, I graduated with electrical engineering bachelor's with honors. I had the college color. College color is kind of awards that we used to get in PEC. For best dancer, college color for chief editor, editorial board, excellence award for doing good for studies as well as the extracurricular activities, and then certificate of achievements. Now you must be thinking that how all of this happened, how this transition happened. So I realized in PEC that if I'm not good at something, I have to work more. I have to work hard on that thing. And that is one thing I would like to say all of you, that if you like something, but you are not good at it, you have to work on it, because it says that practice makes plan perfect. So just keep working on it, and you will get better at it with time. And that's what I did. We have to come out of our comfort zone and just start doing it more and more. So that's what I did, starting appearing in more and more public talks where I gained some confidence, gained some more exposure, joined editorial club, worked hard in study. If the study is difficult, work hard. Made a lot of friends. I mean, we need to enjoy our time too. So made a lot of friends and learned from them. Followed my hobby. We can study all the time, but we need some free time for our hobbies too. So if you have any hobby, follow that your hobby. My hobby is dancing. So I dance a lot, and I Okay, that's what I don't want it. Okay. Don't want this thing too. Just a moment. Why I'm saying this thing?
Isha,
Okay.
we can see you actually. We can see you and
Okay, that's better. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, that follow your hobby. So one of the takeaways I got is believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. Keep working on it. Keep working on your goal if you have some goal in your life. Smart work cannot replace the hard work. Sometimes we need to do hard work to achieve things in life. And the same thing, if you like something but not good at it, start doing it more and more, and eventually you will be the best on that thing.
Isha, can I ask you to double click on the last point a bit?
Sure.
That's a very interesting point you made, right? Like, if you like something but you're not good at it, start doing it more and more. Eventually, you'll be good at it. Actually, I think we do the opposite, right? Like, if we like something but we're not good at it, we try to run away from it instead of trying to do it more. This is very counterintuitive. So why don't we spend a bit more time on this? This is very interesting.
Yeah, because I was telling you an example that in my PEC, I went on first year of my college, I went on stage, and it was selection in some of the clubs we had. And for the selection, we have to give some speech. I went on stage and I was like, I froze there because I saw people are looking at me and I just forgot what I have to say. After that, I had two choices. I could never go to the stage or go again and again and again on the stage, so that a time comes where I'm so comfortable speaking that I won't be frozen and I will be speaking like this here. So that's the thing. It's like, if you like something, but you're not good at it, start doing it more and more. For example, right, tennis. I started playing tennis right now. I love it, but I'm not good at it, but I still play. Like every day, 1 hour, 2 hour, I do a practice on tennis, but I'm getting better at it. So don't be afraid on the things if you like, but you're not good at it. But you will get better if you do more and more practice. Practice makes a man perfect.
And how do you overcome that initial fear, right? Like, because if you're not good at it, you're also feeling bad all the time. Then why am I even doing this? I'm not good at it. So how do you help navigate that feeling?
Okay. So that's kind of an urge, determination. I would say determination and driven from inside, that if I'm not good at it, why I'm not good at it. I used to ask myself that, okay, if he's good at it, if she can do, why I can't do it? I'm also capable. I'm in the same university, same study. They are getting the same thing. Why I can't do it? So you have to ask yourself that why you can't do it. And if you find something why you can't do it, just work on that.
Great. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah. Okay, so the chapter 2 of my life, when I started earning. My college ended 2008 and I joined my first job in Noida. So I was very happy when I got my first salary. So you can see that's what I felt. Started my new job, I'm getting a lot of money, that's all good. But after 2-3 years, I felt like this. What I'm doing with my life? I don't like this job anymore. I don't like this money anymore. I'm not happy. So why all of this has happened? I mean, I was happy here, but not happy here in 2-3 years. So what happened? What happened was that I was doing a job so I was happy, but the extra things that I was getting money, I'm a new job, all the new environments, but I was not doing the work which I liked. So after some times, all the extra things faded and it all came to my passion, what I liked. And I was doing something which I don't like. So after 2 years, it's like, I don't like my job and I need to do something because I don't like my work. I don't like what I'm doing here. So what's a key take? It is very important to follow your passion in life. You have to like what you do. Because if you like what you do, if you like your work, it will not be work anymore. It will be fun. And right now, my work is not my work. It is my fun. Every day I get up in the morning and it's like, oh yes, I'm going to do this thing. Whenever you get up in the morning, it should not be like, oh, I have to go on that job. And how all of these things happen. Probably it's too early for you right now, but later in life, you will realize that you have to do what you like. And and how do you find it? Like, all of you hear this advice, but it's difficult to find what you like. And how do you find it? By trying different things. If you don't try different things, you won't find what you like. So keep on trying different things, keep on experiencing different things, and eventually you will find what you like and you pursue that passion. Similarly, if you work at what you like, work will be so much fun. Then chapter 3, flight to Germany. So in 2011, I left my job in India, in Noida, and then I came to Germany for my master's electrical engineering. When I came to Germany, it was difficult for me. For six months in Germany, I had a lot of questions for me, like, why did I come here? It is so difficult. I have to cook food myself now. I had to learn German, new language. Studies is so much different here. Limited money and new country, new challenges. So everything is so different. It's like when you go on a place, imagine right now you're sitting at home, but you have to go in a different country and you have to live yourself, all the difficulties you face. But I overcome all of these difficulties by working hard. The same things I mentioned earlier, working hard, staying persistent. And at the end, I got my master's electrical engineering, got very fluent at German, did a lot of research experience in my university, and got a very good job. Oh yeah, I can see your red mark, fluent German. True. So that was really, really difficult to learn German going in a different country, because I remember I used to keep my German dictionary and English dictionary, keep my German dictionary always with me in my bag. So whenever I see a new word, open the dictionary. Oh, that's what it means. And then every night, I had made my copy, German book copy. I would remember 20 words, I would learn 20 new words, new German words every day. And then I would just write them. Okay, this is what mean, this is what mean. Then use those words in sentences. It's like, and then start practicing. So somebody advised me when I was learning my German in Germany that start watching TV. So it's like you start watching TV, but you don't understand what you are watching. So I asked him, I can't watch it. I don't understand any German. I don't know what they are saying. And he said, eventually you will. So what I used to do that every day, whenever I get up in the morning, I would put the TV on and I keep on hearing. It's like, I don't understand what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. And by the time it was by chance that they keep on repeating the same news again and again. So in the first time, I would pick 5 words. Next time I would pick 10 words. Next time I would pick 15 words. And after some time, it just clicked and I started learning and hearing more and more words. So I was persistent on what I did not know. So it's like I did not know German, but I still kept working towards it. I still kept hard work towards my improving my German. And eventually I learned all of these things. So a smart work is important, but cannot replace your hard work.
Isha, I'm expecting a lot of phone calls after this where parents will complain that Isha has recommended children to watch TV to learn languages. But we have a few interesting questions. I think would love to also take those in between. So I think Priyanka has a question on how did you go to Germany? Did you take some exams? And how did you decide? You said that if you're not happy with what you're doing right now, try and do a lot of different things and figure out what you enjoy and try and do more of that. How did you figure out that going to Germany is what you wanted to do and it would give you happiness and joy? So let's spend a bit of time on that.
Sure. So let's start with first thing. How did I get to Germany? So at that time, it was, I started Googling that how to get the admission in the university. And then I started finding the universities. I found their criteria. So the criteria was, I think we have to get the GRE exam and TOEFL exam at that time. So you give GRE, you give TOEFL, and then you have, they needed some work experience. I had the work experience and some recommendations letter. And then you fill your application, you write your statement of work, that why you want to study. And then you send your package to Germany. I still remember when I sent all of this package, I was checking 3 times. Okay, this, everything is there, and then I have to send it. And that is the process of how to get in Germany. Now, second question is that how did I find out why I went for master's? Very, very good question. So I told you that try a lot of things. So when I was in my job from 2008 to 2011, after 1 year, I figured out that I don't like this job and I want to do something different. So it was clear after 1 year that this is not the place I want to stay for longer years. I want to do something different. So what different? I realized that I don't want to do job at this time and I want to learn something new. I have to learn something new, and now I have to find what to learn. I already had bachelor's in electrical engineering. So generally in India, people either go for higher studies for master's or people go for MBA. Now you have to think what you like. So either I can go in my technical area or either I can go for the business environment. When I was in my job, I was actually doing the engineering thing. So I was doing the engineering calculations and engineering drawings, electrical calculations. And that part of job, I liked it because even that was only 10% of the technical work I was doing in my job. But I like doing that work. So I realized that even in 1 week, if I have to just 2 or 3 hours of that work, I enjoyed that work. And that helped me figure out that if I do more of the technical area, that would help me. That is the area I want to take in my life. And that's how I decided that, okay, I want to go on to the technical path and not in the business path.
Got it. We also, Advi, can you stop doing this, please? If you do this, I'll have to ask you to leave. We have one more question from, which is a very, very interesting question. And I think it's also kind of related. It's from Adit. Adit, thank you so much for asking this question. It's also kind of related to what you have on the slide here. Adit says that when we're reading books, authors usually skip through the problems characters face every day, and they only talk about accomplishments. I'm sure you would have also faced a lot of hardships and failures and conflicts. How did you keep yourself motivated every day? That's a lovely question, Adit. Thank you so much for asking that.
True. How did I keep motivated? I think I always had a drive, I would say. And how did I keep motivated? I mean, I had the challenges too. Sometimes I would cry. If I did not get admission, I would just cry. But then you have to come out of it. How I was strong. I think I would say I always believe that if I do hard work on something, I can achieve that thing. And I always question myself that if I'm not getting successful at it, then why not? And just asking this question again and again, it helped me finding the ways, because I just learned that I don't want to quit. And then I always had 2 choices. So either you accept what you are getting in life. So you just accept it. And sometimes we get failures and we accept it. And sometimes we accept those failures, but we just don't sit and we just keep walking towards our path. So it says that even if you try for the moon, sometimes you don't get the moon, but you get the stars. And that may have happened many times in my life. I mean, I was studying for IIT. I got cleared screening, but I did not clear mains exam. So it may be different right now, probably in your time, IIT's pattern may be different. So but I still landed in a very good college, Punjab Engineering College. So if you aim for the moon, but sometimes you don't get it, you still land at stars. And that's, I would say, always kept me going.
Great, great.
Yeah, probably strive to do better and better every time also helped me.
So what I'm hearing you say is that always have faith in your abilities.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get what you're aiming for right now, it's okay. It's okay to continue to move towards it.
Yeah, I mean, don't kill yourself. If you are not getting something, just don't kill yourself, but do your best. At least at the end of the day, you should not have the regret that I did not give my 100%. Sometimes some things are not under our control. So give your 100%. At least you will have satisfaction. You will have good sleep in the night that I gave my 100%. But okay, even if I did not get that, I would still got the better thing. The effort, you should put your effort. There should not be any lack of effort, and that is not acceptable. But even if you put your 100% of effort, it has actually helped. The same thing happened with me in Germany too. So I was preparing for my job interviews. I prepared a lot for my very good company that I wanted to go, but I could not clear that interview, so I could not went in that company. But the preparation I did helped me land a very good job in the other company. And I was very happy in my next company where I landed. So it's like sometimes the things you do, the work you do, sometimes you don't get it. I mean, you should get that, but sometimes if you don't get it, the work you did is always going to help you next in your life. Education, the one lesson I have learned all over my life is that education never hurts, or education never goes without reaping its benefit.
Yeah, that's a great point. Education or learning never goes to waste. It always helps in the long run. True. I think there's a lot of request in asking you to speak something in German.
Oh, okay, sure.
Maybe you can say some sentence in German for kids.
Definitely. I would say, how are you? Wie geht's dir? And what else I can say? Hello. Hello is called hello. And then I'm also thinking what else I can say. Yeah. One thing we used to, the first word we learned in German, do you speak English or do you speak German? So it's called Sprechen Sie English or Sprechen Sie Deutsch. So German is called Deutsch. That's why German name is Deutschland. So Deutschland, England is where English is spoken. Deutschland is where German is spoken. So it's Deutsch. And that's why we have Deutsche Bank. And very important thing. So you hear, the cars, Volkswagen. So that's also a German company. So Volkswagen is like Volks means people, and wagon is the car. So Volkswagen means people's car. And then you have this car BMW. BMW is also a German car. Its full name is Bayerische Motorische Werkstatt. So Bayerisch is a state in Germany. It's called Bayern. Workish is like work you do. Motorisch is motor, BMW, and Werkstatt is like machine industry.
Great, very interesting.
I think, Isha, we have one question from YouTube as well for you.
Okay.
So Riddhi Mahajan from YouTube is asking, how did you know that you are not happy with your job?
I mean, I was getting the feeling every day. Whenever I get up in the morning, I was like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to get up. I really don't want to go there. And I would just go there, sit there and do the same work and again and come back. And then every day again, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. So I knew that this is not the place I want to go there. And I definitely something is wrong. I don't like that thing. So it was actually coming from inside.
You have to listen to your heart.
Yeah, you have to listen to your heart. You sometimes, like, very easy. Sometimes in your hobbies, you like dancing. Some people like dancing. Some people don't like it.
Great. Great. Cool. I think we can move on.
Great. Very good questions. Chapter 4, flight to USA. So in 2016, I came to US after getting married, and I joined Blue Origin in 2018. Blue Origin has its vision that we want to create a future where millions of people are living and working in space. So we will be building an infrastructure for the next generation to come, and you people are going to build the future for us in space to create reusable rockets and to sustain presence on moon. I mentioned earlier, I am senior avionics engineer 2018 to present. When I joined Blue Origin in 2018, I was hardware in loop lead for our rocket engines, BE4, so it's like Blue Engine 4, and BE3U, which is Blue Engine 3U. And I would explain what is hardware in loop. And then currently right now I am on lunar lander. So what is hardware in loop? Whenever we send something, let's say you are sitting here, you are getting your cars when we buy our cars. So when manufacturers make these cars, they actually test all of those things before all of these things come in the market, so that there is no explosion happening in the car and radio is working, the screen is working. So all of these things need to be tested before these things come into the market. So in cars, it's very easy. I mean, if something gets wrong, you can just easily fix it. But if these things are going in space, it is difficult to fix those things in space. So it is very important to test all of those things before it goes in space. So hardware in loop is a system where we put all of our hardware at a place. We test all of their system, vehicle-like configuration, so that we can check the software is fine, the hardware is fine, everything is working fine before it actually goes into space. So that's what it's mean by hardware in loop testing. Then I would go on the next slide. Yeah, so these are the engines I have worked on. This is B4 engine. You can see the complexity of this engine. That's our lab. And it's a
How do you compare this engine with the engine that we use in our cars? How much more powerful is this?
Oh yeah, these engines are way, way, way powerful. It's like this engine has 500,000 pounds of thrust. And if you, so I mean, these engines are going in the rockets and they are actually taking a lot of kilograms above from the Earth. So these engines are way more powerful than your car engines.
So 500,000 pounds, that's okay. And a regular car would have what, 2,000 pounds, maybe.
Okay.
2,000-3,000 pounds.
Okay.
So each engine is like equivalent to close to 1,000 cars.
Yeah, probably, definitely. And then the new rocket I'm going to show you after this, that is going, that rocket has, I think, 7 of these engines. So you can see that how big the rocket will be. And it has 7 of those engines, the B4. And then there are 2 more engines that I'll show you later. Okay, so I have actually got a video for you, Blue Engine progress. It's showing the B4 engine testing and how these engines are made. It's available on YouTube. Let's watch this video together.
BE4 is really unique. It's 550,000 pounds thrust. It uses liquid natural gas and oxygen. It's oxidizer-rich stage combustion. That combination hasn't been done by anybody anywhere else in the world. We're going to deliver the first 2 production engines this year. We're also going to qualify 2 entire engines through the life cycle tests.
And so right now we've been running those longer and longer tests, trying to prove out how the engine does. And we're trying to have the facility replicate the vehicle. The long-term way we're doing that is with Marshall's 4670, which is the original Saturn V stage stand. We're upgrading that to have a BE4 on one side and a BE3 on the other side. We've got 2 of the flight representative flight readiness firing engines. They're going to be the first time we actually take an engine, go down and run an acceptance test profile. And we're actually going to...
Uh-oh, sorry. I don't know what happened.
BE4
Over here.
And so right now we've been running those longer and longer tests, trying to prove out how the engine does. And we're trying to have the facility replicate the vehicle. The long-term way we're doing that is with Marshall's 4670, which is the original Saturn V stage stand. We're upgrading that to have a BE4 on one side and a BE3 on the other side. We've got two of the flight representative flight readiness firing engines. They're going to be the first time we actually take an engine, go down and run an acceptance test profile. And we're actually going to ship those to United Launch Alliance to get integrated on the first Vulcan to go do a pad hot fire.
On the heels of that, we already are starting to develop the next block upgrade of the engines. We're going for at least 25 flights before we have to do any significant work on it. The thing about blue engines are they're meant for a higher purpose. They're meant to actually be a road into space. We can actually trade our steady funding for a steady pace and make sure the product is right for where we ultimately want it to be. We're very lucky to have that opportunity.
So the engine testing you saw, we test all of these engines in our Texas. We have a big factory there, Fest, Texas, and there we test these engines. Then, okay, let's go into next slide. That's the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a video of New Glenn. New Glenn is our rocket that Blue Origin is making. New Glenn is a rocket where the B4 engines as well as the B3U engines will be used. So B4 is the engine which will be used in the first stage. And then when it rocket goes high, the first stage separates and the B3U engine will be used in the second stage. So we'll see that in this video. Let's see it.
Flight visit northbound on repeater 1.
Copy that.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you remember seeing this rockets going into space? This was also my motivation. I used to watch this rocket launch videos and it's like 10, 9, 7 is always my motivation, that working in the aviation industry, in the space industry. So these are the B4 engines. Here, these are 7 engines.
Vehicle that back to you.
Copy that.
The first stage separates, and these are B3U engines, 2 of them.
Prepare for fairing separation. Fairing separation confirmed. GS1 reentry nominal.
This is coming down.
Booster reignition confirmed.
LGS2 was successful. Prepare for landing.
Stage inflated. Prepare to safe. All systems nominal for payload deployment.
Now it's deploying the payload.
Payload has been deployed.
Okay, so who is not excited now to work in the space industry?
This is super amazing. It's very, very fascinating to just even be able to watch this. I'm sure it would be so much fun to be actually able to work on this and not just watch this in a YouTube video. We have a lot of questions coming in. Maybe let me start with a simple one.
Okay.
Do you know the story behind the Blue Origin name and the logo? The logo is a feather. Do you have some context to that?
Yeah, okay. So Blue Origin is like our Earth is blue, and that's why and where we all started. So that's Blue Origin. And the logo behind the feather, I don't really know about that one.
Yeah, so maybe that's a question for you to also go ask.
Yeah, it's true. I may have heard it, but I forgot.
Okay. Great. I think there's one very interesting question coming in from Priyanka, I think, which says that we're spending so much money, actually billions of dollars, on taking human beings to space.
Regarding the feather, I can think that we are going in space and feather is also fine, something like that. Okay, sorry, go ahead, the question.
Okay. Yeah. So I think Priyanka has a very interesting question. I think her question is that we're spending billions of dollars to take or find a way to go to space, right? To do space exploration. Do you think that money is best utilized there? Can it not be used to solve problems of Earth today versus trying to make Mars livable? So what do you think about that choice, right? Like spending money on growing food and making more trees versus spending money on space exploration?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, I mean, I can understand your point that, okay, why to spend billions in space when we can solve these problems? The reason I think is that we are actually working towards solving some of our current urgent problems like poverty or growing trees and plants. But going into space ultimately is going to benefit humanity in the longer run. A simple example I can give you is energy usage. So right now, our energy usage is compounding, I think 3 to 4% every year. And let's take an example that when I was in India, we did not have sometimes electricity will go, and then we did not have electricity at home. So, and then probably my grandparents didn't have electricity. So the lives we are living right now is a lot of energy consumption, and we are living a much better life than our parents or grandparents live. And probably the next generation will have more energy consumption, more better life. So the more better life we have, we will have more energy usage too. In the coming 100 or 200 years, it's like there has been a study done. So if coming 100, 200, 300 years, there will be so much energy usage that it will not be possible from Earth to generate all of that energy. So we don't really want that our generation coming from next 200 or 300 years is going to live a life which is going to be worse than our current life. So we have to grow our humanity also. So we have to think long term. And also going into space actually helps the technologies which helps our human also. Like for example, when we landed on the moon, there were so many technologies generated because of that engineering, because of the technology, like this mobile communication. All of these technology helps us and improve our human lives too. So all the engineering and the science we do, that helps our current lives also, and that helps improve our some of the problems. So for example, let's say so I would say the engineering challenges we solve by going into the space is helping the humanity and people on the Earth itself.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, right? Like, in fact, if you think about the internet, it wasn't designed for common people in the first place. It was designed specifically. It was called DARPANET. It was designed specifically for defense purposes, right? It was a communication system for US defense.
Right.
And because the technology was so powerful and so scalable, it was given to everybody. And now we can't imagine our lives without the internet. So
the talk we are having, we will not be having this talk.
Yeah, we could not imagine a CurioEd without the internet. We run all our classes on the internet.
So yeah, internet is providing education and so many helping us our lives. And then now you're talking about the internet. I can also think that there are some companies right now which are building spacecraft and enabling internet to all over the world. It's like there are still some countries in our Earth which do not have internet. So those companies are building spacecraft which are enabling internet to those countries also.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. So that's, you already saw this picture, Blue Moon lander, and that's a B7 engine, which is going to be in the lunar lander.
I think there is one question on the live stream, very technical question. Is the BE3U engine stronger than the BE4 engine?
No, B3U engine is not stronger. B4 engine is stronger than B3U. So B4 has a thrust of, I think, 500,000 pounds, and B3U is probably 170,000 pounds. I'm not sure about the exact number, but it is definitely less than B4.
Okay. And there is one more question on why can't we make nuclear powered engines?
Nuclear power engines. I think there is some research going on in the nuclear power engines. Probably not very, I would say, I don't know much about nuclear power engines. I'd be honest, but I think there is some research going on, and probably they are not able to provide the thrust very soon. I don't want to say wrong thing, but yeah, don't know.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay, so I have one more very cool video for you. Now I'll show you Blue Moon video. That's the lunar lander.
This was so cool. Do you think we'll be able to go to, like, people like me will be able to go to moon maybe in next 50 years or so?
Yeah, definitely.
How far do you think we are from taking common people to moon?
Yeah, I definitely think that common people will be going to moon. I mean, right now in our Blue Origin itself, we have our rocket New Shepard, which take common people to suborbital area. And probably in the coming 50 years, there's a very high chance that we will be going to moon. Or probably in 100 years. I can't predict the future right now, but it will happen because we are working towards it. And that's the vision of the Blue Origin itself, setting moon colonies.
Great. And how many people work at Blue Origin?
Oh, yeah. Probably 5,000, 5 to 6,000.
5 to 6,000 folks. That's amazing. Great. So I think we have a lot of questions coming in. We'll take them one by one. People on the Zoom call, people on YouTube live stream, keep pinging your questions. We'll start pinging your questions now. I think a lot of people are asking this question. Have you worked with Jeff Bezos? Have you met him?
Yeah. So I mean, I have not personally worked with him, but I have not personally gone with the meeting also, but my managers and my company directors, they go with meeting with him.
Great. Do you like what you do, and will you continue to do this in future?
Yes, I love doing what I do, and I'm going to stay here, going to be landing on the moon for my future right now.
Lovely. And we have some questions around what books would you recommend for somebody who is interested to know more about rocket science? If you can maybe recommend some books, some videos to watch, some content to read, what would be that?
I would say NASA itself has some very good educational videos. If you click on the NASA website, they have some good educational videos from space. You can learn that. And then I used to watch a TV series called Cosmos by Carl Sagan. He's my favorite astro person. And then he has his series Cosmos. He tells about all of our space, the rockets, the spacecraft that has gone in space. And then there is a new series, Cosmos, the next generation, I think, by this Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's also very amazing. So you can watch both of these TV series.
Got it. Okay. There are a lot of questions about Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is not Blue Origin. Elon Musk is SpaceX. That's a different company.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Cool. Great. Let me hunt for more questions. I think there's a very interesting question around, do accidents happen when you're testing rockets? I'm sure you would be facing tons of failure as well at times. Rockets not work the way they would want them to work. So
failures are good. Well, the main purpose of testing the rocket is that so that we can find the failures right here on Earth, and we can fix those things before we actually send them in space, before actually humans go. So we do a lot of testing and try to make sure that these rockets, the spacecraft we send, are safe and well tested before they're actually launched.
That's a very interesting thought, right? So failure is actually happening. You're finding failure points by design. It's not that you're trying to avoid failure.
Finding failure point by design, what does that mean?
So you're trying to find failure points in rockets on Earth so that you're able to find, okay, what all places where it can go wrong so that it doesn't fail. You don't find a new failure point in space.
Yeah, that is true for everything you have in your current life. For example, the laptop you get. This laptop, it gets a lot of testing before it actually comes in market and before it actually gets in your hand. You don't want that if you plug the power in your laptop and the battery goes out or some spark happens. So all of these things are tested, and it's good that all of these failures are found in the labs before it actually goes to consumer, it goes to the people. And the cars, there's a lot of testing happens in the cars itself because these things have to be safe for people. Yeah. So it's good to find those failures.
Absolutely. How many days does it take to go to moon from Earth?
It takes approximately 3 days.
It's a 3-day journey.
Yeah.
One way and 3-day back.
Yeah.
Okay. Atharv has a very interesting question. Do you make mistakes?
All the time. Yeah. So making mistake is good because first thing is, if you're not making mistake, you are not learning something new. So there are 2 ways to look at your mistake. Either I don't do anything, then I don't have any mistakes. But if I do something, if I'm doing something new, I have mistakes, but I'm also learning something new. So at the end, I did 10 mistakes, but I learned something new, or I did not do any mistake and I didn't learn anything.
That's great. Vivan has a question. How did Atlantic fail? I'm not sure if they've got the name right. If it was tested so many times.
How did what was fail?
I think it's about maybe what Vivan's trying to ask is, we still see failures even though we tested so many times. We do so much work on testing engines and rockets before we launch them, but we do see these incidents from time to time.
That's true. So rockets are such a complex thing. It's like millions of parts or millions of things have to work correctly so that they go in space and they come back. So we do a lot of testing, but sometimes there is a possibility that probably we are not able to find those things. So it is kind of possible that one thing you don't find in testing from the millions of testing you are doing. So that can be a probability. But yeah, I agree with your point. But it's like millions of things or so many things have to go right. And even if a small mistake happens, the accident happens.
Yeah. Great. We have a question on, will you like to work on inventions which are not related to space as well?
Yeah, I think I would like to work on it because I am learning something new also.
What are the areas that excite you? What are the topics that excite you?
What does the areas excite me? I think I would like to work on nuclear fusion, because fusion is kind of a technology that is going to have a lot of energy for humanity in the coming future. We have not solved that problem. And if we solve that problem, we can solve a lot of humanity problems too. So that is kind of interesting area.
Great, cool. No, I think this has been super fascinating. I think we've already been through our 1 hour. I
would like to tell you one thing. So yeah. I have one more thing to show you. So for Blue Region, we have our club for the future. It's a club where we actually ask students to write postcards, and you can send these postcards to the address that's mentioned here. And you can coordinate with me also. I can put you in touch with HR. So you can send your postcards, and these postcards will go in space. Then they will come back. You can write the message, probably your vision for the space or your own message. And then these postcards will go in space. They will come back with a stamp of flown in the space. And then the Blue Region will actually mail these postcards to you. So that is a very interesting video. Send your postcards to space. Let's see this one.
Stamped, flown in space.
This one is from Great Falls.
Big name. Okay. That's about
and touchdown. Just beautiful. What a spectacular launch to space and back. The 6 for that capsule, the 6 for that booster. We've collected several thousand postcards from students around the world with their hopes and dreams for the future. Today, we're sending our first batch of those postcards to space on New Shepard.
Let's take a look at some of these.
And then we'll mail them back to each student stamped, flown in space.
This one is from Great Falls, Virginia. This one's Washington, D.C. These are fantastic. This card has been in space. On it, the planets represent my love of the unknown. They are all different, and they represent the universe. Nice. It's beautiful. Thank you, Sophie. What a great drawing. All right, let's stamp a few of these. It's time to verify. Beautiful. Nice. All right, that's a success, guys. That's beautiful.
So yeah, you can also send your postcards to space.
I'm gonna send mine for sure.
Definitely.
If I can't go to space, at least my postcard.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Isha. This was super amazing to have you.
I actually love talking to all of you, and it was interesting to ask these questions, which sometimes I never thought about. So it's good to answer these questions.
Yeah, I think just the sheer number of questions you've got was so overwhelming. I don't think we usually get these many questions in a CurioEd event, but absolutely amazing the number of questions we got, and the quality of questions as well. But thank you so much. I know it's super late for you. You are in US right now, and it's extremely late for you. You made the time to speak with kids at this point in time. So thank you so much for doing this, and we hope to have you again in some time to speak with kids again and tell them a bit more about all the cool work that you've been doing.
Great. Yeah, keep working hard and like what you do.